So this recoil spool is out of a Polaris 300, and the way you take the spool out is you just spin that nut off, try not to drop the washer, and if you keep that metal plate pressed tight, none of the other parts that are underneath it will fall out. But it doesn't hurt to take that off and take a picture of it, just so that you have a record of what it looks like in case you drop it. And once you have this spool out, then you can get at the spring on the bottom, which is what came loose on this recoil. So when you pull that plastic spool out, you can expect your spring to come out at you. Now the problem with this one was that little hook on the end was straightened out. Now this metal is really hard, and when you bend it, it tends to just break off. So if you have to bend yourself a new hook, get a torch, get it hot, and then gently bend it. It might take a few tries. So I've got a new hook on this one, and so now I'm going to try and spool it back in here. So that spring sits inside that ring, and you can see the little slot where the spring hooks onto it. So you start on the outer side, hook your spring on, and then you wrap it around and around and try and hold it down and get it to sit inside that ring in the center there. Well, that wasn't super hard, but it wasn't super easy either. That spring wants to jump back out at you, and it's hard to work with such a difference in height, because you got to work that spring and keep it moving all the way around as you shove it down into that ring here. And then once you get it in far enough, the rest of it just drops in. So this, when I wind it up tight, that hook will hook in. So at this point, the trick is you got to put the spool on and get the spool to hook into that hook, which shouldn't be too hard, and then get your nut back on, and then after that you just have to put some tension on it. So you can see where the spring hooks in, that little slot there. So once you get it to drop down into place, tuck your rope up into this notch, and then you're going to rotate it in the direction it would go if you pulled the rope out. Do that until it's really tight. Tuck your rope through, allow it to roll back, and suck the rope in, but don't lose your rope. And then when it's just about all the way in, tuck it back in here again and roll it back out another 3 times maybe. Okay, well, to finish up, because my device so rudely quit on me in mid-sentence, once you let your rope back in and let the recoil suck the rope back in, tuck it back up into this slot again and put some tension on it, because you need to wind the rope around the spool and then re-tension it. So once you have it back tucked in here, give it 3 or 4 winds until it's pretty good and tight. Tuck your rope back up and tie your pull cord handle back on, and it should be good to go at this point. So there you go.